Good afternoon. Today I will start a history first chapter, the French Revolution. That is here given French Revolution about on the morning of 14th July 1789, the city of Paris was in a state of alarm. All were waiting for that on 14th July 1789. The king had commanded troops, all were in the fear. The king that time had commanded the army to move into the city. Rumors spread that he would soon order the army to open a fire upon citizens. Now all were in a fear that king will command the army to get inside and the army will start a firing. Some 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town. 7,000 near about men and women. They all assembled to a hall and decided to form a people's militia, a group. They broke into a number of government buildings in search of arms. They were just searching the arms, weapons, and they broke into the number of government building. Like this way, they tried to enter. Finally, a group of several hundred people marched towards the eastern part of the city and stormed the fortress prison. And that prison name was Bastille. They just entered, they marched towards the eastern part of the city, and they started covering the area, that fortress prison, and that prison name was Bastille, where they hoped to find hoarded ammunition. They were searching. In the armed fight that followed, the commander of the Bastille was killed and the prisoner released. Now, in this, the Bastille, whoever the commander was, they fight and they kill, and he was killed. But the prisoners, they were released through. There were only 7 of them, and the number of prisoners were only 7. Yet the Bastille is the name of it was the name of a prison. Yet the Bastille was hated by all. All of them, they do not like the Bastille, but Bastille is the name of a prison because it stood for the despotic power of the king who was ruling in that prison. That was the king. The fortress was demolished. That building was demolished, and its stone fragments were sold in the market to all those who wished to keep a souvenir of its destruction. Now the people, they were just selling it to the market. Then they were collecting. The days that followed saw more rioting both in Paris and countryside. Then the riots started in Paris and many other country. Most people were protesting against the high price of bread. Many of them, they were just protesting that the bread price was going high. Much later, when historians looked back upon this time, they saw it as the beginning of the chain of the events that ultimately led to the execution of the king in France. Then, though most of the people at that time did not anticipate this outcome, how and why did this happen? So, this was the incident which took place in the presence of despotic king. Now, the first unit, French society during the late 18th century. In 1774, Louis XVI, belonging to Bourbon family of the kings, ascended the throne of the France. He became as a king. He was 20 years old and married to Austrian princess Marie Antoinette. Upon his accession, the new king found an empty treasury. When he became, after the marriage, they found that nothing was there in their treasury. Long years of the war had drained the financial resources of France. There was nothing, and there was a long period of war in which they have all defeated. Added to this was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court of the immense palace of Versailles under Louis XVI. Now France held the 13 American colonies. Under the rule of the Louis XVI, France had held 13 American colonies to gain their independence from the common enemy. That time their country enemy was Britain, and the war added more than billions livres to a debt that had already risen to more than 2 billion livres. Livre here, the meaning is given on page number 4, unit of currency in the France discontinued in 1794. So it's a currency. Then lenders who gave the state credit now began to charge 10% interest on loans. Now whatever that time there was a loan, that loan was also taking 10% interest on that loan. So the French government was obliged to spend increasing percentage of its budget on interest payments alone. Now government had decided to increase this to meet its regular expenses such as the cost of maintaining the army, the court running government offices or universities. The state was forced to increase taxes more and more. The state here means the country had tried to increase the taxes just to look after the army and to run the government office as well. Yet even this measure would not have sufficient. French society in the 18th century was divided into three states. Now you can see figure number 2 how the society in that time in France, the society was divided. The only members of the third estate had paid the taxes. All the estate here, the state and estate meaning is different. State state is a country, and estate the division of the society. The third estate can only pay the taxes. The society of the states was a part of feudal system. Now the society of all the states were a part of the feudal system that dated back to the Middle Ages. The term old regime is usually used to describe the society and institution of the France before 1789. Figure 2 shows how the system of the estates in French society was organized. You can see the figure number 2. The first estate, it was divided into clergy, second estate nobility, and third estate all the big businessmen, merchants, courts, officials, lawyers, peasants and artisans. Even the small peasants, landless labor, all they were included in this, and in the third estate only they were allowed to pay the tax. Then here it's written, however, only a small number of them owned a land they cultivated. Very few society can cultivate the land. About 60% of the land was owned by the nobles and the church and the other richer members of the third estate. Only 60% they can have the land and they can cultivate. The members of the first is two states, that is clergy and the nobility. That is clergy and the nobility enjoyed certain privileges by the birth. From the very beginning, this clergy and nobility, they were enjoying whatever they were having from the beginning. The most important of these was exemption from paying tax to the state. Only clergy and nobility, they were not allowed, they were not, from the very beginning, they were not giving the paying the taxes. The nobles further enjoyed a feudal privileges. Now noble, that second state, they enjoyed a lot feudal privileges. These included feudal dues, which they extracted from the peasants. Whatever the feudal dues, whatever they were having, they have taken from the peasants. Peasants were obliged to render their services to the lord. Now peasants, they were doing their work to look after the services of the lord, to work in his house and fields. Even they were doing the work to their land, to their lord and the fields, to serve in the army or to participate in a building roads. So like this way the estates were dividing, clergy, nobility and the third estate. Only third estate they were paying the taxes, other two states they were having the privileges from the birth. The church too extracted its share of taxes called tithes. Tithes, here the spelling is given on page number 4 right hand side from a new word. A tax levied by the church. Then here is written, comprising 1/10 of the agricultural products. The tax whatever they were having in the third estate, they were taking from the peasants. Then here it's written, and a number of indirect taxes which were divided on articles of everyday consumption like salt and tobacco, on which they were giving the taxes only for salt, having salt and tobacco. The burden of the financial activities of the state through taxes was borne by the third estate. Only the big burden was among the third estate who had to give the tax. who had to give the tax. The struggle to survive. Now, how they survive in their daily life. The population of the France rose up to from about 23 million in 1715 to 28 million in 1789. This led to a rapid increase in the demand for food grains. Day by day, the France was having a lot of number of population, and even there was an increase in demand for the food grains because the population was increasing and there was a demand for having the food grains, more and more food grains. Production of grains could not keep pace with the demand. Now production was not good, yet they were demanding. So the price of the bread, which was a staple diet of the majority, that time their main food was bread, rose rapidly. Their price was going high. Most workers were employed as a laborers in the workshop. Many of them, they worked as a laborer, whose owner fixed their wages. The owner they were fixing their wages, the money, but wages did not keep a pace with the rise in the prices. That wages was not enough as the price of food grains was increasing. So there was a big gap between rich and poor. Things became worse whenever drought or hail reduced. The things became very worse, and there was a big gap between the poor and rich. And when there was a drought and hail, that time also they were reducing the harvest. This led to a subsistence crisis. The meaning is given on page number 5 down in new words. Subsistence crisis, an extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. Endangered means it's going to be finished. Further in the future it is going to be finished. This become worse whenever drought or hail reduce the harvest, and this become as a subsistence crisis, something that occurred frequently in France during the old regime. So this was all happening in the society of the France. Now next page, page number 6. A growing middle class emphasizes and end to privileges. In the past, peasants and workers had participated in the revolts, as you have read, against increasing taxes and food scarcity. So the two people, they were participating, peasants and workers, but they lacked the means and the programs to carry out full-scale measures that would bring about a change in the social and economic order. This was left to those groups within the third estate who had become a prosperous. Now third estate had become more and more prosperous, and you have read just now that they have to pay the taxes to their government and had access to education and new ideas. Third estate only, they were paying the taxes, even they were having a good education and the new ideas. The 18th century witnessed the emergence of the social groups termed the middle class, who earned their wealth through an expanding overseas trade and from the manufacture of goods such as woolen, silk textiles that were either exported or bought from the richer members of the society. So that time there was import and export. Only exported they used to buy from the richer merchants and the society. In addition to merchants and manufacturers, the third estate included profession such as lawyers and administrative officials. The third estate, not only peasants were there, but they have included the lawyers also and some of the professionals. All of these were educated. They were having the education just now you have read, and the new ideas. All were educated and believed that no group in society should be privileged by the birth. Then rather a person's social position must depend on his merit. Now these ideas emphasizing a society based on freedom and equal laws. Whatever there was ideas in between the states, they were all based on freedom and equal laws, and opportunities for all were put forward by philosophers. Now these ideas and all these emphases, they were put in front of the philosophers. That time there were philosophers, such as examples are given like John Locke, Jean Jacques and Montesquieu. Now these three philosophers had written many things about the society. they had found the differences between the states. In his two treatises of government, John Locke sought to refute the doctrine of divine and absolute right. He had found in his ideas that there must be a right in the society. Then of the monarch. Monarch means king. As you know, Rousseau carried the idea forward and prospering formed the government based on social contract between the people and their representatives. So Rousseau had found his idea in other ways. In the spirit of the laws, now third philosopher, Montesquieu prospered a division of the power within the government between the legislative. He found a difference between the government and the legislative, the executive and the judiciary. This model of government was put into the force of the USA after the 13 colonies declared their independence from Britain. Britain, it was an enemy country. The American Constitution and its guarantee of individual rights was important example of for political thinkers in France. So these three philosophers, they have given their ideas what it was going in the society. The ideas of these philosophers were discussed in the saloons and in the coffee houses where the people used to go and cut their hairs, those places also, and the coffee houses, and spread among the people through books and newspaper. Whatever those ideas among the philosophers it spreads in the saloons. People used to talk in the saloons and the coffee houses, but it was spread through the books and the newspaper. These were frequently read aloud in the groups. These were said in the group, but in a loud way, for the benefit of those who could not read and write. The news that Louis XVI planned to impose further taxes. Now he was planning to take more and more taxes to be able to meet the expenses of the state. He wanted more and more taxes which can fulfill the whole country, generated anger and protest against the system of the privileges. Now this was all about the first unit. Then second unit, tomorrow I will start the outbreak of the revolution.